Hi everybody, this is Ben Songroth with the Learning Technology Center of Illinois, and today in this video we are going to look at Adobe Spark Video. Honestly, it's one of my favorite tools to use when I'm creating video in the classroom, especially if I have Chromebooks. It takes all these elements of tough video design and everything like that that may be complex for some students or for teachers for that matter, and just makes them easy. It does it all for you. So it puts in transitions, it adds background music, and you don't have to worry about cutting and splicing and manipulating or any of that. So it's a really awesome way to bring video into your Chromebook classroom, and the best part is it's free and it syncs with Google Classroom. So we're going to jump into the video on how to make videos on Adobe Spark right now. So let's dive into Adobe Spark Video. So if you need to get there, you're going to go to spark.adobe.com and then log in or create your account. And when you get into your account, you're going to go ahead and find a page that looks like this. It might be black if you've logged in for the first time. You want to scroll all the way down to the bottom and hit create a video. That'll be the only time you see that screen. Otherwise, when you log in, you'll see a screen that looks like this. And so to create a video, what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way up to the top here where you see the blue plus sign. And we're going to click that. And this is going to open up a template page. So these are all different templates that we can create and access, but we're going to go ahead and start from scratch. If we click on Start from Scratch, you'll see Video is the third option down, so I select that, and it'll take just a second for us to load our first video. This is just going to be your title of your video. So for our purposes today, I'm actually going to skip this, but this might be where you would want to add a title for it. And then the next page is just templates. So in the same way that you had templates available when you first click the plus sign, this is another way for you to click and find a template of a video that's already been made, and then you can just add your own information to it. For our purposes, we're going to start from scratch. So every time Spark does this, it gives you these fun quotes that talk about something that you can load up. So that's kind of a neat feature of Adobe Spark. All right, so welcome to Adobe Spark Video Creation. Here's the thing about Adobe Spark Video Creation. If you can make a PowerPoint or a Google slideshow, you can make a video in Adobe Spark. It's really kind of that simple. So this right here is your window with which you're going to work. You see down at the bottom, you have your slides. You always start out with one slide, credits, and then your outro. And this is going to be your first slide. You can see that by seeing the number 1 down the bottom here. When you have your slide, you see there's a plus sign. So like everything in Adobe Spark, we always want to look for the plus sign. And this is going to allow us to add information and content to our video. So I'll click the plus sign. My options are to add another video, text, photo, or icon. So these are our options to add content to our slide. If I wanted to add a picture, I would select photo. And then over on the right hand side, I get all my different photo options, including uploading one from my computer, doing a free photo search. And then I see I have results from Unsplash come up. So we get Creative Commons professionally taken photos that I can just click and then add them to my Adobe Spark video, which is pretty great. And then from here, once I have a photo on there, I can actually add text on top of it. And I can make that bigger or smaller depending on my style. And then if you see, you know what, I don't really want that right in the middle, perhaps I want it to be split screen, those options are over on the right hand side. So you can kind of change that how you want. If you do split screen and you decide, you know, I don't really like the blue text, that's going to be a change in the theme up here. So we would select in the top right hand corner your theme. So you can see as I click through the different themes, the text colors changes. I can change it to different font styles and things like that. So that's going to be where we adjust on that. If we want to add slides now, so we've got our first slide here, we're going to go ahead and look down here at the plus sign, and now I've got a second slide. And that just jumps in over here, and now I have all the same things that I can do as far as layout, adding video, text, or photos to it, all that good stuff. So now how do you make this a video? Because if you look at our first slide, it's just, there's nothing there, it's just text and a picture. The key here is going to be that you can record your voice over top of each one of these slides. So you see the big red button right in the middle. If I click and hold on that, that's going to now start recording my voice. So the key here is that you keep it held down, because as soon as I release, it'll actually end the recording. You also notice that it's going to start saying right here at 10 seconds to keep it short. You only get 30 seconds per slide to talk or to embed a video. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind, or your students keep that in mind as you're making the video. I release that. You can see over here now my slide time is now 22 seconds. If I click on that icon down here, I can actually take away that narration and it will default back to 4. I can select that if I want this to actually play for say like 6 seconds, and it'll just have the defaulted music of my video in the background during that time. So that's a really cool way to just let your pictures play. So if you're making a picture slideshow, maybe you don't want any narration, you would just select this down here and drag it out to around that 6-second mark, or however long you need it to be, up to, as you can see, 30 seconds. So that's some of the basics of this. I'm actually going to now take a second, jump over into a video that I've already made so we can just show you what that looks like. Okay, so here we are in a video I made at a drone workshop that we did in the fall. And you can see I've added the video or the picture from the drone that I took, and then added the text on top of it. I talked over top of it, so I have a 9-second narration over top of this. But the key thing here is as we listen to this real quick. This was our group for drones in the cloud. That has music in the background. So you can add music in the background of your videos, and that's done by selecting music in the top right hand corner, and then you can slide it on or off. It always defaults to on, and then you want to go in here and kind of pick which one makes sense for your video. But it's really great because it doesn't overpower your voice. It kind of just plays nicely in the background, and it's a free you don't have any songs on here that you would have to buy or anything. These are all free to use. The other thing I want to show you in this video is that I've actually embedded another video inside of this. So this is 30 seconds of a video I took of me flying a DJI Spark drone. So if I play this, now you can see the video is playing on this slide. And that's really cool, but again, remember, you can only put 30 seconds of video in at a time. So I only had to, this was a 1 minute long video, I could only take the first 30 seconds of it and put it in. If I wanted to narrate my voice over top of that, I could do it by clicking the record button here, and then I could narrate what's going on in the video over top of this, which would have been really helpful if I needed to do that. If I need to add another slide, I can just go down here, hit the plus sign, and then now a slide jumps in right behind whatever slide I was on at that point. If I don't want this slide, I can click the 3 dots and delete it. So now that slide is gone. So now that my video is done, I want to now share this. Okay, so I want to make sure first before I share it that it looks good. So I can do that by going up to the preview icon up here, clicking that, and now you can see it will automatically start playing that video so you can kind of see how those transitions look and if everything looks good. If I back out of that, the next box over is share. This is where it gets great for teachers, because one of the things that I had trouble with when I was teaching was, how am I going to make sure that I collect all of these videos for my students? And sometimes when you're collecting like 100 different videos, that can be really difficult to manage. What Adobe Spark does is it allows the students to share it and then publish it. And when they publish it, they actually create a link, and then they can share it directly to your Google Classroom, or they can turn in the link through any LMS that you're using. So if they click Google Classroom, this box will pop up, and what it's going to do is going to find their classes, and they'll select the class that they're enrolled in for your class. And if you have an assignment created for that project, they will see it in there and they can submit this video to that assignment, which is really cool. The key thing here is to make sure you have a due date on the assignment. If you don't have an assignment with an open due date, then they won't find it and they won't be able to submit their video to it. But it's a nice way for you to collect all of the videos in one place, and then you can click on them and see them. If the kids are really proud of their video, they can copy this link, they can send it home to mom and dad don't have to download it to watch it. It's just a live link. But if they do want to download it and they wanted to save it on their phone or wherever, they can click download, and this will download as an MP4 file. Again, as we already mentioned, you can actually invite students. I think we already mentioned this. You can invite students to collaborate on these. So if I want to have kids work in partners, they could invite a partner in, and they could be working on this project simultaneously in through different devices, which is pretty cool. I hope you found that helpful on how to get started using Adobe Spark Video. I think you'll see that it's a great way for kids to combine a lot of outside resources into one video and then record their voice over top of it. So when I was teaching, I loved to have my kids bring in primary sources and then record their voice over top of them. Bring in pictures of architecture and have them explain why they were important to that time period of history. Just anything you can have where students can use their voice to record over top and really express their learning a little bit differently than what they would be able to if they say just had a worksheet or they had to write a paper about it. And then that combination with Google Classroom, I think, can't be beat. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you utilize Adobe Spark video in your classroom, and make sure you check out the other videos in our Creative Tools series. It's going to be a great series, and I hope you're finding use with it. So as always, thanks for watching.